Hello, everyone. I am so happy and so excited to be here with you. There is a way. Nope. I was like, let me comment and tag everyone so you guys know we are live, but that's okay. You will find this. You will watch now. You'll watch the replay. You'll listen to it on the podcast. Yay. Okay. So we are talking today about some actionable quick win strategies that you can implement in your business to book a client in the next 7 days. Who is excited for that? I love it. All about the tangible, actionable strategies. And to give you a little background, if you are new to the VA industry, if you're new to MomX VA, we are a community of moms who are redefining what is possible in motherhood. Yes, it's about the virtual assistant industry, but I believe that the VA industry, being a VA, goes far deeper and is far more powerful than simply deciding to be a virtual assistant, because you are essentially rewriting the narrative of what success looks like and how you get there. So often, I'm sure a lot of you, if you grew up, in the day and age, like the narrative really was you go to college, you get a good job, your raises, your promotions, all define your success and your worth. And I totally did that until I had my first child. And I went back to work and then I was like, nope, this is not the vibe. Like, I do not want to be in an office while my baby is being held by somebody else. And so I was like, I'm going to figure out how to be home, still contribute to my family and, have that connection, that purpose, that autonomy. And it took me 5.5 years inside of being a stay-at-home mom to find the VA industry. And I don't know, drop a comment below if you were like this too, where I tried all the things, all the work from home things, direct sales, influencing, affiliate marketing. But what I found with those things was that it was really like this. Income was up and down and was really dependent if people bought or joined. And it always started on day one of every new month, started at 0. So when I found the VA industry, guess what? That is not the case at all. Because when you're a virtual assistant, you book your dream clients once and they want you in their business long term. So say today, you're like, okay, today is the day I'm going to go all in on becoming a virtual assistant and booking dream clients. And I'm telling you right now, you can start your business today. You can go book clients immediately. You don't need a fancy office. You don't need fancy credentials. You get to use your professional background, even if it's been years, if you've been a stay-at-home mom for a while. So just know that this is the best part about being a virtual assistant. You can decide to go book a client this week, and I'm going to give you some very tangible, actionable strategies to do that. And you have, as an example, a 2K month client locked in every single month, so that you're not starting the next month. You're not like, oh, well, now I got to go find all new clients to hit my income goals. They lock in you for the long term, which is so fun. And you develop this true, beautiful partnership and relationship with your clients too. Like, I think of it both because I have a team of about 10, and I've also worked as a virtual assistant. I run a virtual assistant agency, and it really feels for me like a partnership in life and business. And I think that's cool too, because as you grow your virtual assistant business and you talk to prospective clients, it really is about that relationship and that feeling, not as much like, yes, having some skills, which you can leverage from your professional background to take in, but your clients will hire you because they connect with you, they resonate with you, they see your personality, your character, and your aptitudes as an asset to their business. So it's not about knowing all of the tech platforms, knowing exactly, like you're a Kajabi ninja as an example. More so, they will hire you for your ability to be proactive, to be resourceful, to ask good questions, to solve your own problems. And so and I see this as like one of the biggest fears or worries about, if you're considering the VA industry, and it's like, but I don't have the skills, I don't have the tech background. And my answer to that is no problem, because one, you can learn anything you want to learn. You can go on YouTube and watch free tutorials. Like, you could go perfect your Kajabi skills by watching free YouTube videos, getting a free trial of Kajabi. So never let the worry that I don't know tech, it won't let me be a successful VA because I don't know tech, be a thing. It's not a thing. You can go learn anything. And then the other thing on that too is that your clients will love the fact that you can be totally honest, like, hey, I've studied Kajabi. I'm not an expert in it, but I'm really good at, going and searching for solutions and learning new platforms. And I've already taken it upon myself to learn this. And so just know that your clients will hire you for who you are, not what you do. And really leaning into that from a place of empowerment. If you're like, oh, there's nothing holding me back except maybe what I think in here that I can't do it. And if I can rewrite that narrative and adopt the belief that this is possible for me and I'm going to be a booked out VA, and then really move from that place, you can ask yourself, what would a booked out virtual assistant do in this scenario? And study them too, if you're not even sure. One of my favorite things to do, and one of the things that I did when I was building my business, even before I found the VA industry, when I was in direct sales, I would study leaders. I would study people who were where I wanted to be, and I would notice their habits, their energy, how they showed up for their business, for their community. And it's like success leaves clues, right? So you never have to reinvent the wheel. You get to see how successful people show up, and then you can adopt those habits too. And one of the biggest things, I think this is such a fun example. This is totally unrelated to the VA industry, but it's the same concept where we moved out to Minnesota almost 3 years ago. And I kind of let working out fall to the wayside for a while in the midst of the move. And then I was like, I don't really want to, I want to, it's important to me, but I'm struggling to get out of bed in the morning and make it happen. And so I adopted an identity. I just said, I am someone who works out before my kids get up. And when it becomes a non-negotiable identity, there was almost, of course there was some mornings I still didn't want to get out of bed, but I did it because it's who I was. And so for you, how that can serve you in your virtual assistant business is for you to also adopt the identity. Who are you? When you know and when you decide that I am a successful virtual assistant. Okay, what do successful virtual assistants do? They show up for their business every day. They open doors consistently. They network. They put themselves out there. They're learning new skills because it's fun. You get to decide. If you're like, okay, I'm already earning 5K months. If you adopted that belief that you are a successful virtual assistant, and even if that feels unrealistic for your brain to accept that you're already earning 5K months, here's what you can do. You can say, 5K months are on the way. I can't wait to be earning my 5K months. This is actually a really fun, we're kind of going off topic, you guys. I'm just nerding out right now. I do have I've got notes. I've got 5 strategy pieces for you to go book a client in 7 days. But I feel like this also is so important because if you master this, the strategy that I'm going to teach you here shortly will fall into place so easily and effortlessly. Here's the last thing I'll leave you with, and we'll go into the strategy, I promise. Okay, it is this. When you are going on vacation or Christmas is coming up and there's that feeling in your body and it's like the energy in the air is just crackling with excitement and anticipation. You're like a kid and it's 3 days before Christmas and you're like, oh, Santa's coming and I'm gonna get all these presents. Or if you worked in an office and you have a vacation scheduled and it's day 2 before you go, and then it's day 1, and you're just doing the thing and you're like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna be on a plane tomorrow and this is so exciting. So this is called joyful anticipation. And when you can have joyful anticipation in your business as well, think about the energy difference between if you're like, man, 5K months feel so far away and I don't know how I'm gonna get there and blah, 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 right? We've all felt that. Because if you're like me, I'm like, I want what I want and I want it now and I don't want to wait. But if you can adopt the joyful anticipation energy, this energy is magnetic and it's unstoppable. And so if you can just say, kind of like Santa's coming in 3 days when you're a kid, you can say, my 5K months are almost here. I can't wait for them to be here. Like, it's happening, it's happening, it's happening. And you show up with that energy, that place of excitement, and you're going to have, of course, this is human nature. If you've studied neuroscience, I'm a neuroscience nerd. I love it. Like, understanding the brain and how it works is so freaking cool because you can use it to book out your business. I feel like I need to do like a whole program or course on that. If you guys think that would be cool, drop it in the chat. I'm like, ooh, that would be really fun to do. Anyways, the way that neuroscience works, the way that our brains work, they are wired to keep us safe. Anything outside of our comfort zone feels like boiling hot water. And our normal, instinctual, biological reaction is to go back to comfort, where it's safe. But this does not serve us. Essentially, our brains have not kept up with evolution of society. We are still wired like caveman days, where you walk in the woods and you're going to get eaten by a woolly mammoth. That doesn't serve us anymore. But here's the really, really cool part. When you have the awareness that this is what's happening, like, and it's like anything that you do new. You decide to become a virtual assistant, and you've never done it before, and you start putting together your portfolio. Your brain is going to be like, this is new, this is different, no way, this is not safe, go back to what you know. That's just normal. It's how our brains work. But when you have the awareness, or like, actually too, I think what's even scarier maybe than deciding to be a VA and putting together your portfolio is the first time that you put yourself out there. Drop a yes if you agree. You're like, oh my gosh, like, this was cool when I was doing it in silence, but now I have to tell people, like, what are they going to think? What are they going to say? Oh my gosh, this is so scary. What? Right? Like, that feels edgy AF. And it will stall people. It may have stalled you. Probably it stalled me, or even like direct sales, like all the things, right? This is just our brain trying to keep us safe. It's normal. It's human. It happens to all of us. But this, what I'm about to share with you, will make or break your success, not just your VA success, but your peace, your joy, your alignment in life. Because when you have the awareness that your brain's like going to keep you safe, it's going to tell you not to do things outside of your comfort zone. It's going to try and tell you, you can't do this because you've never done it before. It's just your brain trying to keep you safe. But when you know, you're like, deuces. No, I choose not to believe that. You get to choose the thoughts that you believe. And if it helps, here is how I learned to look at it. I almost look at it like it's this third-party voice, or like it's not a thought that I will adopt and own. And I see it as like this little pesky voice on my shoulder, and I'm just like, brush it off. Like I don't receive that. I don't choose to accept that thought because I know it's not true. I know that it's just my brain trying to keep me safe. So all that being said, for this 17-minute, oh my gosh, that's so funny, you guys. We haven't even gotten into like the meat of the training. I love it though. I love it. So when you know that it's just trying to keep you safe and it's this cute little pesky thought, you don't have to adopt it as your own. You're like, then you get to decide. You're like, the thoughts that I want to believe and that I'm adopting is that I'm a successful virtual assistant and 5K months are on the way. And then you get to build in the joyful anticipation that it's happening and it's happening so soon. And you don't need to know how or when. Like, that is not your job. That is not your job. What is your job is to hold the belief. And then from that place of belief and identity, you move as that person and the how will unfold. Think of it like walking in fog. When you're walking in fog, you can see maybe a step or two in front of you. But as you move forward, the next step is revealed. That's what it's like anytime you're doing something new. We don't know exactly how it's going to go, but if you keep moving forward, the next steps will reveal themselves to you. And this so much applies to business. Like if someone had told me 2 years ago, last November, 2 years ago, I had a $66 month. I launched my first thing ever, and I had 3 people buy at $22 each, and I felt like I won the lottery. I was like, it's working. I'm doing the thing. This is so cool. Simultaneously, I was writing in my journal on my kitchen table every day, thank you for my 20K months. Thank you for my 20K months. That was my joyful anticipation. I chose to believe and know that it was happening. And the crazy part is, let's see, July 2023 was a 30K month. So in, I don't know how, oh my gosh, you guys, math is not my strong suit. How many months is that? 9 months. I went from $66 to a 30K month. And it was because I anticipated that it was happening. If anyone had told me though now how it would all unfold and, you know, what I would be doing and like beyond my wildest dreams, I wouldn't have believed them. And so that's what I want you to adopt here too, is that you align with your vision, you decide where you're going, you assume that identity and those beliefs, and you keep moving forward in that direction, trusting the process. It's like you're walking in fog. We don't know 10 steps in front of us. We can guess and we can align, but also when you're open to miracles and you are open, like this is another core belief to adopt, this or something better, and trust the redirection. If a door closes and you're like, dang, I really wanted that, it's redirection, and it's gonna, if you have the belief this or something better, it's gonna lead you to something even better. Okay. I'm still laughing because now it's 9:20. So we've been talking about, but I mean, this is juicy, delicious stuff. Correct me if I'm wrong, but like, oh, I could nerd out on this all day. Okay, let's go now into, I'm going to give you 5 quick wins that you can do. Now that we've covered all the mindset and the identity and the beliefs, you're in joyful anticipation of your 5K months. It's going to happen. It's inevitable. Who would you be in that world? Now, let's talk about some strategy pieces to help you book your first client in 7 days. And then I want you to come into the group and let us know your wins so we can celebrate you. Okay, so first, I want you to decide that you are going to offer, and you have one clear offer as a virtual assistant. So your clients, they are not going to hire you because you're nice or you have open spots on your roster. They are hiring you to solve a problem. Okay? So I want you to think about, what is one problem that you can help a business owner solve? Can you help them manage their email inbox? Can you create content for them because they dread social media? What is a problem? This is why your clients will hire you. They hire you because you can solve a problem. So some ideas: inbox management, social media content, calendar organization. You can, if their back end of their business is a disaster and you're an organization nerd, like if you color code your spreadsheets, you probably will love the admin work. Okay, if anyone else, drop this in the chat if you did this too. Which I'm like, of course I'm doing this work now, because in high school and in grade school, this is like so nerdy. We would be on the school bus, and instead of like playing and hanging out with my friends, I would take their binders from them and organize them for them. Like, oh my gosh. I loved it. I still love folding laundry because you have this like pile and then you get to make it organized. So if you're like weird like that too, you're going to love VA work, and you're going to love probably like online business management, project management, administrative support, being a business owner's right hand, because typically entrepreneurs and business owners, they're like mile a minute ideas. I want to do this and I want to do this. And then you get to be the person alongside them that's like, okay, awesome. I'm going to put together the plan, the deliverables, the timeline. We're going to assign pieces to the team and keep everything organized and on track. So super fun. If you like that, you will love VA work. Okay, so the other thing too, like we talked about with fog, right? You're walking in fog. You can only see a couple of steps in front of you, but as you continue to walk, the next steps reveal themselves. This is the same way with your VA business. I don't want you to overthink anything. Don't overthink your name. Don't overthink your services. Don't overthink what problem you're going to solve, because as you go, you're going to get clarity and you can perfect it. You can always change your business name. That's the thing too. Like sometimes I see, with all the love, I see VAs take like 2 weeks to pick a business name. And I'm like, I get it. Like you want it to be amazing, but also, you know, you can just change it. You can change it, right? Okay. So no, you can perfect it as you go. Now, the next thing, and this is like, I mean, any business. This doesn't even go for just VA. This is something I'm really focusing on in my business as well. And this is that conversations are currency. The more conversations that you can have every day, the more doors that you open every day, the more likely it is that you will move people through your funnel, through your sales funnel, which is the process that you take people through to book you as a virtual assistant. the more likely it is that you're going to be filling your client roster in no time. So for you, every single day, I want you to think, how many conversations can I get into? If you are waiting for clients to find you, you're probably going to wait a long time. So you get to be the one to initiate and start those conversations. So a couple places, LinkedIn, you can update your profile, make sure that it is super targeted and specific on who you are and what you do and how you help them, what's the problem that you solve. And then Facebook groups. And we talked about this in last week's training too, is where do your dream clients hang out at? And Facebook groups are an amazing way. If you love spiritual entrepreneurs, and also in these Facebook groups, they post all the time looking for VIs. So think about spiritual entrepreneurs, if that's your jam, the Alpha Femme Facebook group, go join it. There's 130,000 people in it. They're always posting needing VIs. So think about where would these people be that you would love to work with? And then go get in there and show up. And you don't have to show up with an agenda, like a hire me, just start engaging, just start conversing, getting to know people, put up an introduction post, which is what we talked about earlier is edgy. If you're oh my gosh, I'm going to be seen. But if you know that it's just your sweet little subconscious mind that's wired from old days, caveman days, just keeping you safe. You're okay, I'm going to put myself out there. I'm not going to die. That's the thing. Our brains are wired. So it makes us think that we're literally going to die if we do something that's outside of our comfort zone. But go do it because it's not going to kill you. Promise. Also Instagram, you can just go engage with dream client types. Doesn't mean that you're pitching them in the DMs, but you're liking their content, you're commenting on it, watching their stories, all of that, getting in conversation. And going back to what I said about on LinkedIn, on Instagram as well, make sure that your bio is set up to talk about who you serve, who you are, what's the problem that you solve. Because a lot of times, if you just open the door and you're just connecting with them, they're going to go to your profile and be oh my gosh, I actually have that problem and I would love your help solving it. Okay. The next thing is let people know what you're up to and ask for referrals. If they don't know about you, they're obviously not going to hire you, right? So let people know what you're up to. And I think this is I remember having this feeling, when I was in direct sales and whatnot, was I'm just going to keep this to myself and I'm going to, see what happens. And once it picks up momentum, then I'll let people know what I'm up to. Here's the thing, you guys, though. You're doing yourself and your network a disservice when you do that, because people want to support you and they want to be on your journey, and especially when it's connected to a why. And, you're in this community, so likely you are a mom that wants to do this. Why do you want to do this? You want to do it to change the trajectory of your family's lives, for your children's children, so that you get to have your dream motherhood selfishly too, right? We want to have the best lives. We don't want to have a life inside of motherhood where we're I want to go to Disney, but I can't. I want to buy organic, but I can't. I really just want to go unhinged at Target, but I can't. We want to have a yes life. You want to give yourself and your children the best life possible. And that is one of the most beautiful gifts that you can give as a mother. And that's why you want to be a VI. And when you let people know from that perspective, and also just how can we just take a moment to appreciate the VA industry and how freaking cool is it that you get to use the skills that you had, if you haven't worked since having kids, or you work now, you're how freaking cool. How cool. Moment of appreciation for the VA industry, that you can literally take those skills, create your own business, earn probably more than you're earning in corporate, or you did earn, all from home on your own schedule next to your kids. What the heck? What the heck? That is so cool. What a day and age that we live in. How spectacular. And people too, they're going to think that's so cool, especially when they understand why you're doing this. So let people know, your cousins, your relatives, your old coworkers, all the people. That was one of the ways, I have kind of a wild VA story. I found the industry and I was yes, this is it. This is it. In 3 days, I had booked a 3K a month client. In those 3 days, I created my portfolio, and I didn't, you know what, I will say, I'm calling myself out here. I did not post on my feed, but what I did was a lot of behind the doors networking. And so I thought of all the business owners that I knew, and I essentially did market research, and I let them know what I was up to, why I was doing it, like how cool I get to use my 10 years of professional experience. These are some of the things I'm doing for business owners. And I asked them because I wanted them to start thinking of like, if they were to outsource to a VA, what would they want to outsource? So yes, I was doing market research, but it was also, strategic too of, subconsciously planting seeds where they're like, oh yeah, maybe I do need this. And I would send along my portfolio and just be like, hey, if you or anyone want support with this, but also it was, market research, like tell me, like, what would you want to offload, what keeps you up at night in your business, like help me understand so that I can make sure that my business is set up to support entrepreneurs like you. Works beautifully, right? So let people know what you're up to. If they don't know what you're up to, they surely can't hire you. Okay. And then the next, we've talked about this a lot, is sell the future, not the features. So in the case of a VA, sell the transformation, not the tasks. An example, you could say, I do your social media posts. Cool. That's cool. Whatever. Yeah. Okay. But if someone goes to you and they say, I'm going to make your content so good that you wake up to a handful of DMs every single morning from dream clients wanting to work with you because your content did the work for you while you slept, wouldn't you be like, you are hired? You're hired. Like, let's go. Yes, I do want that. So you want to start thinking about the services that you offer in terms of the transformation and not just the task. And then make sure you message to that. And then the last thing, which ties in a lot with what we talked about, is for you to close with confidence, to know what you have to offer, to own your value, to own your worth, to own, this is important. And I think the things that I just mentioned, owning your value and your worth, comes from owning the transformation. If you start with the transformation, how you solve a problem, how you help business owners, it's a lot easier to be confident and to really own your worth. Because the example of I do social media posts or I create content so good, you're going to have dozens of DMs from dream clients every day. That you can see the ROI there, right? Like that's going to make a business owner a lot of money and solve a massive problem for them. And so if you get from a business owner, if you get the objection, I'm not sure that I can afford it. Well, one, know that any price objection is a perception of value. If they believe the value to be greater than the price becomes irrelevant, right? So if they tell you you're a VA and your dream prospective client tells you that they can't afford it, well, guess what you can say? You can say, I get it. I understand. And the great thing about this is that my services often save clients time and money, more time and money than they invest. We can start small, we can go from there. And they're like, okay, right? And especially like going into that too, is if you are very clear on the transformation and the impact that it's going to have on their business, it will make price objections irrelevant. And also know too who you're speaking to. Like if you want to earn, if you want to have 3K a month social media packages, make sure you're talking to the right people, the people that can afford that. They're probably 6-figure entrepreneurs who are scaling, not someone who's just starting out in business. So two, of course, make sure you're talking to the right people. And then the next thing too is the biggest mistake that I see virtual assistants make is treating no like it's the end of the conversation. A no is simply a not yet. And if you are not following up on the no's, you are missing out on clients. I have supported over 350 students in my VA Leadership Academy, and this is one of the things that we teach them is to go back if you feel alignment and resonance with that potential client, make sure that you're following up. Because I have seen time and time again that these clients will come back. Maybe the VA that they hired the first time wasn't a good fit, or maybe there were such a great fit that the business grew so fast and now they need to hire more. Things change all the time in business, and definitely be following up with your dream clients, even if it's a no. And I kid you not, if you do this consistently, stay organized, you can use a spreadsheet to know who to follow up with. You will see those doors reopen for you. The fortune is in the follow-up. I don't know if you've heard that before, but it's so true. Okay. So to recap, this has been such a juicy training. We kind of went off on a tangent in the beginning, but I think it all ties together so beautifully. So One, going to the quick win strategy so you can go book a client in the next 7 days. I can't wait to hear about it too. Make sure you come share your wins. So first, you want to have a very clear offer. You want to solve a specific problem for business owners. Number 2, get in conversations. Conversations are currency. Make it a habit, a daily practice of starting new conversations every single day. 3, ask for referrals. Reach out to your network. You can do market research, pass along your portfolio. Number 4, focus on the transformation, not the tasks, because this really ties into making price objections irrelevant when you can speak to the outcome in their business. And then number 5 is close with confidence. A no just means not yet. And tying into that transformation, really owning your value and your worth and the impact that you will have in a business owner's life and business and bank account, all that good stuff. So good. Okay, this was so fun. So fun. I hope you loved it. Also, you guys have probably seen, because we've been sending out the emails and posting in the group, but we have a Black Friday waitlist. If you are not yet on the waitlist, get on the waitlist. I should caveat, only if you want to be a virtual assistant earning 5K plus months. If that is who you are, get on the waitlist, because we have the biggest sale ever that will be dropping very soon. Like, haven't ever done something this large, and I'm super excited for it. I think it'll be something that comes around once a year, right? And this thing, the 40% off, there's bonuses, there's I just said it. Whoopsies. The surprise. That's so funny. There's going to be savings and bonuses and all the things. And, it's going to get you to those 5K months. And just like we talked about at the beginning of this, that's so funny, at the beginning of this training, is the joyful anticipation. Like, what moves can you make now to set yourself up for 2025 being the best year yet? What decisions can you make now? What steps can you take now? So you go into 2025 with that joyful anticipation that what you want is 100% inevitable. So our Black Friday waitlist and what we're going to be sharing with you very soon will give you that knowing and that belief and that conviction that your 5K months are locked and loaded. And all you got to do is keep moving forward every day, especially when you have the right strategy, the right support, the foundations, the templates, the scripts, all the things. Like, and you're like, okay, it's inevitable. All I got to do, show up, plug in. I got it. Like, locked and loaded. 2025 is going to be the best year yet. So if you are not on the wait list yet, drop waitlist below. I will send you the link, and then keep your eyes on your email inbox. We'll be sharing in the group as well when we drop the exciting surprises. There'll be more, like, I can't believe I spilled the beans. That's so funny. But there'll be more surprises too. So get on that wait list. And if you're ready to earn 5K months, send me a message now. Maybe you can like skip the waitlist line. We've actually had, this week we've had people do that every day too. So if you're ready to go and you're just like, dude, give me the link, like, let's go, give me all the Black Friday stuff. Like, we can also do that too. So, okay. Anyways, this has been so much fun. I love you guys. I'm so happy that you're here, and I will see you. I don't think I have a training scheduled next week in the group, but I think I want to do one anyways, because they're just so fun. They're so fun. We get to hang out for a while. Okay. Mwah. Bye, guys. Happy Friday.